September 21 meeting of the Middletown Historic Commission to order. James, can you call the roll, please?
Roger Daniel.
Here.
Sam Cornwall. Rachel Rutherford.
Here.
Matt Dixon. Corey Carter.
Here.
Andy Brickler.
Here.
And Michaela Perkins.
Here.
You have quorum.
Hope everybody has had a chance to look at the meeting minutes from August the 17th. Are there any corrections? Any additions that need to be added to? No? Hearing none. We call the roll.
Well, we need a motion.
Motion, okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes as submitted.
I'll second.
Michaela Perkins.
Yes.
Andy Brickler.
Yes.
Corey Carter.
Yes.
Matt Dixon. Nope. Rachel Rutherford.
Yes.
And Roger Daniel.
Yes. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do. Thank you. So tonight before us, we have a request for issuance of a certificate of appropriateness for the painting of the facade at 4 North Main Street. As you see on the right-hand side, that is the picture with the painted stone and the painted rainbow colors. 4 North Main Street is a 3-story brick commercial building located in the South Main Historic District. The applicant is proposing painted mural on front facade. These were images supplied to us by the applicant. Here's 4 North Main Street, long time ago. Here to the left image is also provided to us prior to the stone being painted, the gray color, and then prior to the rainbow colors on top of that. These are images also provided to us by the applicant indicating or showing what changes they've made, and I'll let the applicant speak as if they want to add more. Here's the zoning map. As you can see on the map, it's zoned UCC, which is in our urban downtown core. Here's the property within the South Main Historic District. I have provided the timeline for the certificate of appropriateness. Also provided the design review criteria. These are decisions on how the COA application shall be based on consideration of the following criteria. I've included that if you would like to review it. Appeals. I would like to read this as well. Any person directly affected by a decision, the Historic Preservation Administrator or the Historic Commission shall have the right to appeal to the Planning Commission, provided that a written application for appeal is filed within 20 calendar days after the decision, notice, or order was serviced. An application for appeal shall be based on a claim that 1, the true intent of the applicable code section of the rules legally adopted thereunder have been incorrectly interpreted. 2, the provisions of this code do not fully apply. 3, the requirements of this code are adequately satisfied by other means. No building permit or other permit required for the activity applied shall be issued during the 20-day period or while an appeal is pending. The Planning Commission shall consider an appeal within 30 calendar days of receipt and shall utilize the written findings of the Historic Preservation Administrator or the Historic Commission in rendering their decision. A majority vote of the Planning Commission shall be required to overturn a decision of the Historic Preservation Administrator or the Historic Commission. So just at a high level view, this property is located within the South Main Historic District. Any exterior alteration, any capacity within a historic district has to have a certificate of appropriateness, especially when it's just a facade change such as this. Is there any questions for me? That ends my staff report, and the applicant is present.
Does anybody want to
is Sue Whitman. I'm the director of the Art Central Foundation. I live at 1368 Black Forest Drive in Dayton, but I'm the director of the ACF, which is located at 4 North Main. The ACF has been doing public art in Middletown since 2013. We have applied for certificates of appropriateness each time. We're well aware of the process. We have also applied for our building for new lighting, for the painting of the windows that we redid in 2013. I'm trying to remember the exact timeline, but there was a building that a mural of a pink parrot appeared on the front of the building over a weekend. And because I'm familiar with the process of the certificate of appropriateness, residents around you are notified when you're going to make changes to the building. So when we put up new light fixtures, Cincinnati State was notified. There was no one that was notified about this, potential mural going up, and having been doing murals for a while, I wanted to find out why. So I contacted people at the city building and was told that the historic district had been changed. Now, we were not notified that we were no longer in the historic district at the time, but I was sent a map of the new district, which began at the Pink Parrot building and traveled up the street, across the street to the Windermere, around our block of Main Street, and back down into Governor Square. And this was, sectioned out as no longer in a historic district. So that was the last I had heard of, that we were either in or out of a historic district. And this came from the city. So I did not think that we needed to apply for one. As I said, we have applied for them in the past, just changing the paint colors on our building and putting up new light fixtures. So if I had been aware that we were in the historic district, we would have applied for this certificate in advance of us starting. So this mural is a continuation of a mural that was designed by some of our students last summer, and one of them is here. But we continued with another mural class this summer. But it was designed to continue through those windows, and I don't know if you can put that slide back up, but so the plate glass windows, this slate wall goes through that plate glass window. So our students designed the mural in anticipation of it traveling out onto this exterior wall, which is not original to the building at all, but was added probably in the 60s. So, we did this with that in mind. We finished the interior mural last summer, started this in the fall, had a community event with Hocus Pocus where we had about 36 community members come and help us paint this wall. That's kind of a signature of all of our murals in town. We have community members that come and paint, and our students come and paint with on these murals. So we didn't think we were doing anything wrong. And that stopped because it was winter. This spring we got a code violation. And I did contact Mr. Metz and ask, could we see that we are in the historic district now, because the last map I saw was that we were out of it. And if we were back in, why were we not notified that we got out of it, and why were we not notified that we were back in it? I did say that we would file the certificate of appropriateness this summer, and it was very hectic, and I did want to give our students a chance to come and be here, because I think this is another kind of important part of them taking a public art class, so they know all the steps that you have to take, as long as you know you have to take those steps. So do you have any questions for me?
Just curious, what percentage of the spots up there
Yeah.
are going to count?
It will look like the inside where it breaks up a little bit. It'll be more probably solid up against the plate glass and then kind of fade out. And we had to get gray primer. They couldn't mix the primer needed for this wall dark enough, but all of the in-between lines will be black, just as the interior mural is. So then the rest of those stones will be black. And we are an art center. We give free or reduced rates to kids from the 7 school districts around Middletown. So for us, most of our murals have reflected, the use of the park at Governor Square with big musical instruments, or try to reflect the use of the building. And I think this is appropriate for the use of this building.
So for me, I appreciate what you guys do, being in the community, since 2016, I've got to see you guys out, so
Mhm.
appreciate what you do. A couple things, I agree, the Parrot Hotel, or the Parrot Loss, when that went up, I was very, like you, want to know how's this happening.
Mm.
That's when I found out that had been bumped out of the map. Still digging into that.
Yeah, thank you. Because I'm also interested in knowing when and how all that happened.
So yeah, and so with this, a couple things that just that come to mind is, I know we brought it up, right?
Mhm.
We saw it and we were like, what's going on?
Yeah.
We reached out to James and city staff. I know there was multiple letters, multiple emails, multiple phone calls
Mhm.
that went on for a while.
Yeah.
So it looked like you guys were ignoring us.
N-
And I know we all get busy.
Yeah, when we first got the letter, we called Mr. Metz. My husband called first because, quite honestly, I was upset.
Yep.
So my husband called a couple of times during the week, and we got no return phone call. I called again several times in weeks following, no return phone call. We did finally get an email. So that's, there was a little frustration on both ends, I think.
And then my last question is, are you guys gonna go is the plan to wrap around the front? There's it's about 2 foot or 8 inches?
Yes, that would be the plan. Yeah, I think that it just wouldn't make sense.
And to clarify, we're doing both, you plan to do both sides?
Both sides would be done, yes.
Both sides of that one.
Of this, yeah, of that, where the slate is.
Right.
Yeah. So for where it says the for lease sign, that section, we are doing just that side, yeah. Yes.
The one on the left, toward the middle door.
The one that's immediately to the right of the middle door, we will be doing that too, yes. Yeah, this whole entire section on the left, we are not doing. Yeah.
I could address a little bit, not really for the city, but I used to be with DMI.
Yeah.
And we're the ones that really, brought in people to create the historic district.
Yeah.
And in 1978, it was the South Main Residential Historic District.
Yes.
They went from the U.S. Hotel down past Bessie Hamilton's house.
Mm-hmm.
And when we started, we wanted to pick up your place and wanted to pick up the shoe place and all that. So we created the South Main Commercial Historic District.
Okay.
And it went from what used to be the Parrot restaurant,
Yeah.
that's empty now,
Mm-hmm.
down to Montgomery Ward's building. It did not pick up the Cincinnati State building because SHPA didn't think it was historic enough.
Mm-hmm.
It did pick up, the Getz Tower. And then we did a Central Avenue commercial district.
Right.
And it picked up from the old Rogers Jewels headquarters, which is the building just past that Parrot.
Yeah.
The Parrot was excluded because they felt that the facade of it had changed so much it wouldn't give us any credit.
Mm-hmm.
So it picked up from the Rogers Jewelers down to Clark Street. So, and that was in 2013, I think.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of where those are.
Right. I guess I just
And we
assumed
wish
we
the,
were.
building was,
Yeah. Well, I think that I just assumed that we were part of that Central Avenue corridor of historic buildings. You know, that was never clear, but I knew that we were
yeah.
in it at one point in time.
But we couldn't take the Butler County, you know, that one-story building,
Hmm.
the Cincinnati State building. So we had to kind of
Yeah,
do two separate districts.
yeah,
So
okay.
anyway, that, I don't want to take a lot of time.
Yeah, no, that's
It's
okay.
fine.
Yeah, if we had thought that we were in the historic district, we absolutely would have applied in advance of beginning. And, you know, I will say we have a wide variety of murals in the downtown area. Each one of them has been approved. The one that we came before commission with is the Big Fish mural. And there was one person on the commission at the time that said, you know, we just really don't like that kind of artwork. And the commission agreed that it wasn't about an individual liking or not liking the artwork. It's the diversity of the artwork that's found downtown and so forth. So, all right. I don't think so.
Any questions for our Sue?
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else want to speak for the proposal? Okay.
If you do speak, please remember to sign in on the front. After you speak, just please remember to sign in on the sign-in sheet. It's out in the.
Okay. My name's Gianna Franja. I live in 4512 Sophie Avenue. I've been a part of the Art Central Foundation program since.
You swear to
Oh.
everything you're going to say is
True.
true and
I swear.
just say yes.
Yes. Okay. I have been a part of the Art Central Foundation since 3rd grade. And my sister worked on the Flowers by Roger mural on the back of that building. And I was very excited to be a part of the Middletown mural. Sorry, I'm like really nervous. And it was really, oh my God. It was really fun getting to design it with the other people in my class. And I really enjoyed working on it, and I don't know why I'm crying. I thought it was a really nice idea because I love history. It is my favorite subject in school, and I love just the history of Middletown. And honestly, when they were like redoing the roads and stuff, I knew like what they wanted to make it become. And I thought that was great, but like I also just liked the originality of how it was before. I understand the changes they made and the advancements it brought about. And it does make the city look nicer, I believe. And so when we were making our mural, I figured it would be a continuation of the art. And you see cities like Cincinnati and other cities, and they are full of artwork, and they are just gorgeous. And I was hoping to bring that to Middletown, especially because I feel like we are a very art-oriented city with our performing arts and the multiple art things, like just programs we have down here. I'm part of the Middletown Youth Community Foundation, and I've learned of many nonprofits in the area, and I know a lot of them that deal with art. And I was just very proud to be able to be a part of the Art Central Foundation, and just make this mural. And I do think that it's really cool that it gets to expand outward from our building, because I feel like that's, in a sense, like representing how we want to reach out. And in the Hocus Pocus event, we had just random people in the community, people that were at the event. We had a little sign-up sheet, that way they could sign their name, and then they would paint a stone, and they were a part of that mural, which I thought was an amazing opportunity. And just getting your name on that plaque and saying like, yes, I worked on this, I was a part of this community, like I felt like that was really special. Okay, I think that's all. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Anybody else want to speak for? questions from the commission?
So, James, help me understand, are we voting this as a mural or a facade?
I think those are kind of one and the same. Um,
Okay. So, any other questions?
I mean, just for my thoughts before I vote, I'm really torn on this one. Not about the art, not about the mural itself. It's, I don't know, it's just something that is, my fear is, you know, I want to have it boxed really well. Like, hey, if I approve this, this is the boundary this mural goes in. I appreciate that, I like the idea of your design, that it's growing out in the community. But what happens when we want to grow it to the whole building? What happens when it goes there? So, you know, if I were to vote on this, I'm going to be very adamant about what I'm voting the boundaries of the mural to be.
And if I can,
if you're going to speak, I need you to come to the dais.
all right.
This is all being recorded. So
Yeah.
that's not good news from here.
Yes. It would stay within those boundaries. Now, you know, if we wanted to do something in the future and now we know that we're in the historic district, we will absolutely submit another certificate of appropriateness and see what you say. But, you know, yes, those are the limits of it. And, you know, we have never pushed the limits beyond, you know, the things that were approved in the past. So hope that makes.
Yeah, that's kind of my sense on it, right? You know, living in Asheville, in my past, I've seen a lot of murals, and, you know, I love them, they're great for the community, but there is risk of when murals take over historical buildings and what the impact of the building is. Again, I'm still torn on how I'm going to vote, but I just wanted to put my 2 cents out for everybody here to hear why I'm kind of struggling with this one a little bit.
Some of the murals we've had, there's been questions about maintaining them. And who's going to own them, but they own this building. And, you know, it's going to be maintained in some fashion, even if it's painted over. So, is there a motion? Anybody want to make a motion?
I will make a motion to approve it as it's submitted, and the way we said it is it's the south side window, or north side window, north side window, both sides of the rocks in that opening will be painted, and it will not go on any other part of the building other than the rocks.
Do we have a second? Call the roll.
Roger Daniel,
Yes.
Rachel Rutherford,
Yes.
Corey Carter,
Yes.
Andy Brickler,
Yes.
Michaela Perkins.
Yes.
Okay. Neural business, the only thing we have new is the updated document from the historic preservation plan that I shared with you, I believe it was earlier last week. I wanted to touch base and see if you guys have any questions, if you've reviewed it. At this point in time, our consultant is still working diligently on filling it out, and they kind of just wanted to get a little bit of feedback. And if you haven't read it yet, that's perfectly fine too. You could always just read it at your leisure when you get a chance. Send me an email, and then I can always forward it to them, which is nice. That way it's not, was it phone tag or?
Personally, I got through about 3/4 of it. Didn't get all the way through it. I didn't have any real problems with what was suggested, by the people in my neighborhood. But I had some trouble with my email. Could you resend that to me?
Absolutely.
I skimmed through it. I didn't see anything glaringly, but I do need to take fully read it. Like I said, I haven't seen anything that stood out.
It looked like, for the most part, there was nothing suggested that makes you do something in particular. Sort of should do this, could do that. It was a lot of iffy type stuff,
Yeah.
which I guess is okay. I haven't really gone through a lot of the other ones.
I kind of like that personally because it's a guideline, right? It's not the act, it's not the law, right? Or code or whatever. So I kind of like that. That's kind of our, it helps us kind of focus in, and then when we make decisions, we can go to the individual 12 or whatever it is nowadays.
Right, and you can quote the historic preservation plan because it is a guideline for you in the future making decisions. That, in addition to review criteria.
That's my comment. Anybody else? Any other comments about it?
Resend that to me as well.
Yep. I'll just send it to everybody again.
That would be the plan plus the edits that was done by Gabe.
Well, no. So Gabe did submit something from the South Main Historic District, and then I forwarded that on to. So this is what might be confusing is that I kept it in one email chain. So in one email chain, you'll have Gabe, and then you'll see me sending it to the HPPE consultant, and then them sending me back their information, and then I forward that to you, and then I also forwarded the next email, the staff packet, all at the same time.
I want the base document plus the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I'll send all that over again.